Hello everybody, welcome back to the OWC group stage. I am the Brit that has been exchanged, and better than that, I'm back with Honey. What's up everyone? Welcome to OWC again. Group stages, this time we're doing a battle for glory this time. No extreme stakes for either of these teams, which honestly I think is a shame considering some of these, especially Greece from exceptionally having a much better placement in qualifiers compared to previously. But regardless of that, it's Reese Hong Kong. I'm Shiva, joined by Semi again. Semi, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hi. Guys, it's been such a long time, right? I'm doing incredible. Still doing incredible. In fact, after that great match between Austria and Thailand, gonna be following it up with this banger as well, Greece versus Hong Kong. As you mentioned before, not a lot at stake for either of these teams here, but honestly, regardless of what happens, I'm incredibly proud of both of them. I'm incredibly proud of Greece for qualifying and making it to the group stage, and I'm very, very proud of Hong Kong for getting in and just fighting their way through the group stage as well with all of the damage they've been suffering.
Yeah, I think with Hong Kong, you see this team on paper and you're a little bit upset that it didn't come out with the hopes that you had in mind, especially when you have players like F2X and Ibiki Mishawa still on the roster. But we said it with Hong Kong, they have staple players that are serious benefits to their roster that are not making it. With that, regardless, they put up a great fight, being really close to making it out of their groups, having lost a tiebreaker against somebody there in Singapore. That was insanely close and just barely missing out on that, despite almost making a comeback from what I remember. It didn't work out, and I think that was kind of one of the biggest nails in the odds here for Hong Kong to make it. And with that, it's more just a battle for glory here.
Yeah, I mean, everything could have just gone a completely different way if they had managed to win that tiebreaker. But alas, it is how it is. Gonna be opening up with the Nomad 3 ban here for Hong Kong. Absolutely sensible ban here for them, considering the two main carry players on the side of Greece with Jackpax and Puyu, and DT2 banned, again with the carry players in mind for the side of Greece, specifically with Jackpax.
Yeah, no, agreed. I think when you're looking at this Greece roster, generally speaking, the improvements of most of the team is great, but you always look at Jackpax and Puyu in particular to be the main super players here. And these bans from Hong Kong have definitely been respecting that. I mean, Eurostar Chocolate Disco and DT2 getting removed, I mean, immediately you think, yeah, I'm too scared of Misha Aura on this map. I'm also way too scared of F2X on this map. And I think that's kind of Greece's angle, which is unfortunate that they don't have too many maps so they can rely on things like flow aim capability, especially with Puyu being around, who's not only really well-rounded, but fantastic on things like flow aim and aim control. Having that normal 2 be more of a tapping with difficulty map, there are a lot less options open to you, despite having 1 or 2 maps still around if you choose to do so.
Yeah, and Hong Kong going to be opening up with the DT1 immediately, opting into the mechanics picks here, picking against the strengths of Greece, or against the strengths of Greece's best players.
It's usually the goal there when you're going for those pick ban strategies, right? You more often than not want to just prioritize the strongest players, because I think these teams at this level, most of the players more often than not will not be as potent as you would hope. Whereas with higher brackets, higher levels, more often than not, it's very team-wide strategy. You're more thinking about what the third player syndrome is, what the general comfort levels of the majority are, but this kind of level, more often than not, you're targeting the strongest assets that can consistently super carry. We've seen it work off to brilliant fruition with a lot of teams. I think Norway and China in particular were 2 teams where we saw them just have that ridiculous super carry potential, be it as a team or as individuals. Kind of being a good example of what groups can entail, where matches can still be close, but the super carries are kind of out there and being the big fear factor going into this. But it's DT1, which is probably one of the most comfortable maps coming into this pool for most players. And I'm curious on this opening for Hong Kong for being a little, I guess, a bit loose. I know you could see the majority of Hong Kong players being really strong on this, but with this being the most comfortable skill set to open with, I'm curious on how Greece feel on this one in general.
Not too sure about that. I think Hong Kong definitely has the advantage of it being more, being more liberal with their picks, seeing as Misha Aura is the absolute #1 joker on their team. Incredibly well-rounded, plays everything from reading to stamina to tapping to speed to aim to control to precision. Absolutely just a jack of all trades here. And having support for all of the skill sets as well with Ibiki and F2X just, in my opinion, leaves them more room for more freedom here with the pick strategy. compared to what Greece is able to do. So, DT1, I think, very logical pick here for them. Roster is ready on both sides. We're going to be seeing This Is My Dog, who is Puyu, and who we will be referring to as Puyu throughout the rest of the game.
These dumb name changes.
Apologies. Jackpack, Trashpack, and my peeps against Hibiki, F2X, Mishawa, and Flyond.
Yeah, the general three members remaining from last year's roster, from 2023's roster. F2X was not last year, but Flyond being that outstanding rookie, looking to try and impress the rest of the members here in what is unfortunately one of those matches where you can't really have too much investment in the idea where you know that these two are already kind of out in their groups already, but the idea of the potential battle for glory is up there with Greece and Hong Kong getting into it. A few opening breaks to start, and you can already see the map starts pretty quickly. Already a lot of difficult patterns to be dealing with, but not too many breaks. Only Flyond and My Peeps to exchange, with the recovery combos being very, very slightly in favor of Greece.
Yeah, this is definitely on the longer side, especially considering double time being applied still at 3 minutes. So early breaks not going to matter too much in the long run here. Of course, never a safe thing to say with group stage in general, seeing as the maps are generally a bit easier, especially compared to qualifiers. So, who knows? Maybe that break is going to matter. Maybe those breaks are going to end up mattering like completely. But so far, it's still 3 FCs up against 3 FCs, and the supporting combos on both sides on My Peeps and Flyond built up. Everything super even on the board as F2X finds the first miss, the second miss on the side of Hong Kong. Sorry, I was still in the wrong match.
Thailand?
My bad.
My Peeps is that trade though, and I think that's ideal if you're Greece, right? Getting rid of all the 4 combos in exchange for that one single recovery. And Greece as a collective on this DT1, if you compare their stats both in this and in qualifiers, generally speaking, they are quite a team-wide consistent roster, which is something that you would expect when you know how explosive the other main stars are. But going into it, this next HI time with the third of the map left to go, it's still looking really cleaner for Greece, but these 2 big combos here from Mishawa and Hibiki are still really scary, especially with that SS from Mishawa still making that the strongest score in the lobby, and by a decent margin too. Trustback almost an entire percent, with Puyu being about 0.5%, a little more over, as a bigger jump start to kick in just towards the end of the KI. There's Jackpack and there's Flyond. So those are what you're looking for, but Hibiki on the exchange is going to sting. Guitar solo in with a few more tap mechanics applied too, and it's Mishawa again to be the last man standing here for Hong Kong with the full combo. Ref SS in smoke, as he's got to pray for both Trashback and Puyu to go down, which doesn't seem to even matter whether or not they do so, as it's 200,000 score for Greece to make this an opening breakpoint here.
Yeah, absolutely not the way that Hong Kong wanted this first pick to go. Puyu and Trashback on the duo FC here. Puyu gonna be fighting the miss, but the damage already done. 1 million score on both of them. Gonna be securing the first pick here and the first breakpoint of the match for Greece. What an incredible start for them.
It almost looked returnable there with the recovery from Mishawa and F2X. It went from 220k to 50k really quick, which honestly jump scared me. I wasn't expecting it. I was kind of more thinking about what would go through next and seeing if Trashback could close the FC. But with a valiant attempt from Mishawa and F2X to recover and bring it back, it's not really going to be enough. S-rank from Hibiki, a great score nonetheless, a 1 miss from F2X, and Flyond also with a decent score despite being kind of overshadowed by the rest of his team. It just seems like the general team-based score from Greece just barely got them out, and thankfully prevented a choke. Because I can't lie to you, I was when I saw that increasing down the last few notes, I was pooping my pants a little bit there. I was a little scared.
I can't lie, I might have just not noticed that, but now that you mention it, they did. Like, the last time I checked, they were at a 250k lead, and then the map ending with 50k difference only. Terrifying, very terrifying. Let's see what Greece is going to be opening up with, taking the break point on what is technically or probably supposed to be one of the Hong Kong's strongest picks here. Definitely not going to be working in their favor, and again, I just see Greece here opting into some of the more aim-oriented, some of the more hidden-oriented maps.
Yeah, I think
or control.
Yeah, no, I agree. Anything where you can abuse Jackpack's and Puyu's ability on this is going to be the best option. But considering how well team-wide they were on mechanics-based maps, they could go into one of those alternatives instead. considering how Hong Kong struggled just a little bit. As long as Misha Awa isn't that scary off the leash, you could really get something out of this.
Potentially, yeah. A lot of variety here for them. So let's see what it is gonna be. And yeah, as we mentioned before, Fremont 1 gonna be the pick, more control oriented. That 9.2 AR with the hidden also gonna be working out in favor of Greece. Jackpack's a player completely unfazed by these levels of density. Incredible hidden player.
Great, I think it's the usual avenue you would expect coming through from Greece, but it's good to know about that DT1 upset win. Barring the choke, really, towards the very end, you could definitely see that being a better avenue where you'd be a bit more comfortable going into it. Hong Kong looking really shaky, and it really feels like one of those things where a lot of these players are getting just one tiny mistake that causes massive impact on their odds of winning. And that's been a regular pattern here for Hong Kong. They've had moments, they showed the potential that they have, but not really able to make the most of it and able to capitalize on what really should be easy maps for a lot of these players. We should be seeing consistent FCs, we should be seeing consistently high scores from the 3 returning core members of Hong Kong. You know, we've seen these guys go up to as high as semi-finals, and to see it go down to a level like this is unfortunate, despite Misha Awa's efforts. But maybe this is their chance to bring it back, because you still have great versatility on this Hong Kong roster, with Revenge Wolf coming in to replace that 4th slot. It's a good chance that you could see a returning Breakpoint if Hong Kong keep that form and don't really let that last loss slip from too much.
Potentially, yeah. As for mod distribution, I believe we're going to be seeing Hibiki on the hidden here. FTX for sure on the Hard Rock. Making sure Misha Awa FC's on the Nomad, but he's actually going to be opting into the hidden. And then obviously Jackpack's on the hidden. Naked going to be going for that hidden Hard Rock. Puyo, Mayan Peeps on the Nomad. Let's see it. Very short map as well. Only a minute 48.
Yeah,
so
really
very volatile. A lot of, well, pretty much anything can happen here.
FTX rocking the Hard Rock, Misha Awa on this hidden. Generally what you would expect. You could also see an overmod from PBK on the hidden if you wanted to. But it seems like that's not going to be the case. Jackpack's on the main hidden that we expect. Naked tanking the hidden Hard Rock. It's a risky move here for Greece. But if Naked's the one who's confident the most on this, it should be a winnable deal regardless. But still very volatile with the flow and very much slider breakable, just slightly off on these kick sliders. And it does already trip up Naked going to the first PI time here. With Rental, Hibiki going down as well, it still gives the advantage here for Greece by a small margin, but with Mayan Peeps on the trade, it does make things a little more contentious here, as those sharp cuts on the flow alongside the sliders are keeping both teams on their toes. But nothing too significant to go down just yet. You're looking at these combos from Jackpacks and Misha Awa, and Jackpack will be first to fall. A big miss there for Greece.
Yeah, the modded players on the side of Hong Kong, actually the Seoul FC's remaining for their side, which is very, very impressive. Also going to be giving them the edge on that score difference, on that score advantage. Making sure to bring it back as we enter the second chorus. Let's see if they're going to be able to keep up their good combos here. Mayan Peeps going to be dropping their supporting combo. It's on Puyo right now, making sure that the lead stays on their side. Oh wait, FTX broke!
Yeah, FTX with that miss, getting tripped up by the rapid burst and PI time. It's just Misha Awa who's left to hold the fort, but look at this recovery from Naked here. We haven't mentioned it for a while, but as the end of the map comes in, it is a surprisingly dominant victory here for Greece. Great FC here from Puyo, alongside a brilliant recovery from Naked. One miss on practically nothing to start. Again, thwarting this heroic FC from Misha Awa. I mean, if you're Misha Awa right now, what do? You're trying so hard. You're definitely one of the strongest players in the tournament alone, let alone the group stage bracket that you're in. Have such a great performance, only to not really be able to have anything to do with it. It's a bit of a stinger.
Yeah, I actually wanted to mention Naked is a hidden preference player, so I wasn't really too surprised to see him go hidden Hard Rock on this, over opting into the Hard Rock only. He also plays a lot of flow aim, so kind of makes sense for him to, be in that slot, play with those mods specifically. Unfortunate for Hong Kong that the support, especially on the Nomad, just kind of wasn't there. Revenge Wolf really, really lowballing with that 200k on the Nomad. very, very unfortunate. That could have definitely gone a different way. And Hong Kong going to be opting into the Nomad 2, continuing their mechanics pick strategy. And yeah, Jackpacks doesn't really seem too happy about this, as you can tell. Not sure if he can tap this. I'm pretty sure he can mash it to a certain extent, maybe double tap even.
Yeah, this is one of those things where you try and rely on a player maybe like Pooh to do some great work, maybe alongside the other players. But this one being a lot more heavy on that tapping, you can't really dug it out as much as you want on something like the DC-1. But this is a much more of Hong Kong's territory. You've got some generally great four-person core. Don't need to really speak much of the names that we already know of. You've already got the three main players that you'd expect on almost every single map for Hong Kong. Alongside, honestly, a decent set of options for the last member. The question is really whether or not how perform feels. This one's very consistent, quite hit on the stamina too. 230 BPM with non-stop. The aim isn't really the issue. It's very much that stamina and that thing control that trip you up. And maybe sometimes, depending on the pattern type, the density too.
Yeah. I mean, Air 9.6 to 30 BPM should, in terms of density, really not matter for any of these people. Now, I don't know, I'm just kind of afraid of, you know, Greece kind of having this fourth player syndrome. I'm pretty sure Neki can still tap this, but who do they have for the first pick? I believe it was Crushback on the DT1, right? So maybe we're going to be seeing him here again. Oh, it's going to be Mayan Peeps, actually. Maybe.
It's an interesting thought. You could really honestly see that, but on their last rosters when they're up against Japan, it was actually Mayan Peeps being in there, with Pooh being like the main hero that you need to look out for here. It's the big fair point. But Hong Kong are capable of having lower scores. In fact, they do have one team score when they were up against Japan as well, where they had a lower team score than what Greece played against Japan. So it very much matters on the day. Both these teams have good potential to take this. But when you're talking about super high peaks, you can't help but look at Hong Kong and see that much higher team score when they were up against Singapore, where they double FC from F2X and Misha Awa. And definitely the other two members capable of doing more.
Absolutely, yeah. Just got a map absolutely up their alley. Again, group stage, you know, everything just kind of being a little bit easier should be a piece of cake for these two players, with prior performances to back it up. Let's see how this one goes. It is, on paper at least, favoring Hong Kong. And yeah, we're trying to get RLSC into the tournament server right now, and then hopefully we're going to be able to start this map. Some technical difficulties right now, just kind of, you know, hold on, bear with us for a second.
I think Nick trying to be as efficient as he can with the servers, like he's trying to min-max the bandwidth usage. And that means that RLSC hasn't really been added yet until he actually has to play. Or maybe something like that. I'm not really sure why he wouldn't be there, but we'll have to wait. He's not playing a map. What is happening here with the sports roster of Hong Kong? Who is this fourth player?
I'm very confused.
Who is the fourth guy? Like in both of the runs that they had before, they had RLSC playing. Not the RLSC, the other RLSC. But it's like Tsukime is going to be the fourth player to come in here. So the fourth player role, the fourth player syndrome is scary for this odd Hong Kong. Going to be relying even more and praying even more that your double FC from Misha and F2X stays around in this matchup. But a bit fearful of Greece, who have shown to outscore them before.
Right, we're finally loading into the map. Let's see how this one's going to go. And yeah, Hong Kong, a little bit of a dire strait here. They got to win this pick, make sure that Greece does not get the third point on the board. You know, giving them the opportunity to make it a 4-0 with their second pick, which would be absolutely devastating. Again, a very short pick. Unfortunately, Tsukime kind of forced to fill here. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, there's going to be breaks from Hibiki and Tsukime here early on. Greece still on the four-way. Jackpacks really struggling with the accuracy, but he's doing as much as he can to keep the combo. Unfortunately, going to be finding the miss. But fortunately, again, not losing out on too much score simply because of the low accuracy.
Yeah, I think
Hibiki yet again.
Jackpacks' goal here is to just try and get the high. I mean, obviously, he goes to get the highest he can possibly get, but especially for jetpacks, just trying to abuse this combo game as hard as you can. You know the stamina's not on your goal, you know the accuracy isn't there, but you have set something like a 400k B rank before. If that can continue here, for Greece, there's still a good chance, especially considering that the fourth member from Hong Kong, Insukime, is struggling a lot more here, with F2X, Misha Awa being still holding on those 2-4 combos, Hibiki on the recovery, really needing to do something big here with this drum solo bit, adding a lot more finger control into it. You've got loads more combos here that lead for Hong Kong. The score lead flips, Jackpack and Vine Peeps go, Nekid as well to follow. It's just Puyu with brilliant accuracy, but not enough to really do anything against the rest of Hong Kong, let alone Misha Awa with still an SS intact.
Yeah, some interesting banter going on here between the teams. Puyu still, oh my god, I was gonna say she's still on the FC, but what a break. Overtapping that 5-0, very unfortunate. That's the last FC got for Greece, and it was already looking good for Hong Kong with the lacking support on the side of Greece and the double FC from F2X and Misha Awa going, but now absolutely the deal is sealed. That is going to be the first pick on the board here for Hong Kong. Let's see if both of them are going to be able to close out their FCs now.
Yeah, that's the bigger fun point with this one, right? Is Misha Awa going to be able to get that clean FC? Is F2X going to do it? Hibiki are still holding on to the recovery, so Hong Kong definitely fulfilling the wishes that they hoped for, despite the early miss from Hibiki. It's going to be a really, really solid team coming in. Tsukime may drag that down to maybe below the best they've done in this group, but if you're kind of assuming that the regular placeholder that RLSC would have is still going to be there, around 350 to 400k, it is actually probably the strongest score that they have had going into this. Yeah, Hibiki outscoring his previous scores as well, with the double FC still locked in for Hong Kong. So it's a good team score from them, and honestly, what you would expect from having two such ridiculously strong players.
Oh yeah, I do want to mention that Misha did smoke Puyu miss, like, right before she actually
Yeah. Just begging for it, man. Hey, maybe he thought he was scared that he was going to slip up on a mind block pad or something and was thinking he might come back. In similar nature to the DT1, where it almost did, you know?
Who knows? Yeah, also immaculate accuracy from Misha, only dropping 3 100s on that entire map. Very, very solid. And yeah, Hong Kong really, really in need of that 1 point. Very, very glad to see them take it, actually. Gotta spice things up a little bit more, not make it as one-sided. Pick back to Greece now, though. Still 1 breakpoint ahead for them. And yeah, hopefully Tsukima are not going to be forced to play any more speed for this match.
Yeah, you're going to have to hope there's a lot more to it than that for Hong Kong. With mechanics being a little sparse into this, you don't really have a lot left. I'd say if you're Hong Kong, what other options do you have potentially aside from what? Something like maybe Frame 3 if you can see it that way. I mean, I think aside from that, what else can you really put out into this? Maybe Nightmare Invitation could be an option for Hong Kong, but you're kind of getting abused by the flow aim there by Greece, who can still pull up really good scores on flow aim, even if they aren't massively heavy on speed. So if mechanics is the biggest option for Hong Kong, you're a bit scared going into this, but it's Coconut Love that's going to be picked here from Greece. The Hidden 2. This is probably one of the most beloved maps in this whole pool. Who doesn't love some Coconut Love?
Yeah, one of the most OG picks in this pool, and one of Chiv's favorite picks. If you've been around tournaments for the past 2 years, you just know that Chiv has been pulling this every single tournament he can. That guy's addicted to this map.
And honestly, can you blame him when you hear this banger of a tune?
Oh, absolutely not. I Love Your Orchestra is amazing, and this map is also really good. I've seen a lot of people, get tired of this, but I personally I just like it a lot. I never mind playing this at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're gonna be seeing Lefty and Kitty Like Me making their first appearances here on the side of Greece. Revenge Wolf returning for that Hidden 2. This obviously not really playing into F2X's skill set as much as the other picks. However, to make up for that, going to be opting more towards Hibiki's skill sets on the side of Hong Kong. So I do believe it is sort of even here to a certain extent.
I'm a little afraid of the capabilities that Hong Kong are going to be able to dish out, because they still do have some great players for this, like Misha Awa, who we've said his name so many times, but he is so shockingly well-rounded despite having skill on some really lethal specialized strengths. And I think Hidden 2 is one of them. Sorry, not Hidden 2, sorry. Hidden in general is one of them. And Hidden 2 with reading could also be a good option for them despite not seeing it be as present here. Questions on whether or not that reading can translate into this because it's a bit more specialized with density in as an additional sub-skill set. And for Greece, you're more just hoping that you can rely on Jackpax alongside the consistency of the rest who may not be as comfortable to do this, but it's very much a hero performance looking in the eyes for Jackpax here.
Absolutely, the two, one of the two main players you're looking at on the side of Greece right now. Kind of a rough start here for everybody, everybody dropping a lot of accuracy in this low beginning section. Not going to matter too much, if at all even. And everybody's still holding a combo. So far, so good. Really should not be expecting many, if any, breaks.
Yeah, a decent fair point here, but it really is like the stats tell them. It's very much the two main superstars who can set on average really high scores on this map, and Jackpax and Misha to be the ones you look out for here. In terms of accuracy battle though, it's going in the hands of Jackpax for now. Some early misses coming in as almost the entirety of Hong Kong are quickly wiped out from that quick burst/stream section there, with Misha Awa being the last combo left. And you still have Puyu, who is, although dropping a little bit of back, keeping up really well here with Jackpax to add that double whammy power that kind of suppresses Misha Awa when he's got nothing else to fight with.
Yeah, absolute meltdown here on the side of Hong Kong. Misha Awa, the sole warrior to stand on their side, whereas the two main carries on the side of Greece still going strong. You mentioned the accuracy absolutely does not matter in this case though, because they're still leading by a full-on FC, and the supporting scores on their side also just looking way better with that 400 combo on Lefty as well. Look at that score just go and go further towards the side of red. 400k lead at this point, about 2/3 into the map, so does not seem like there's a lot of possibilities for Hong Kong here to come back.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those scenarios where you're just having to, again, watch Misha Awa do light years of work with Russia's team unable to really back him up. He finally misses there. That 600k instantly back with potential for more if he holds on to the rest of the combo with solid accuracy as we get towards the very end. Viki is down again. Lefty will fall with that recovery, but it's Jackpax and Puyu still keeping these two full combos. This is really good here from Greece. And this might be a double FC on Coconut Love for Greece to give themselves that third round. It is going to be Puyu to drop, but Jackpax onto this Guitar Solo section, looking to add the silver on the rank screen, and it will be him to do it. Greece with the third, and FC from Jackpax, 840k. It is a stomp here for Greece.
Yeah, very significant win for them. One after the other. We got a 1 million score gap on the Nomad 2 earlier for Hong Kong. And now Greece retaliating with their Hidden 2 pick, absolutely destroying Hong Kong here.
I think as well, you can notice that you had that lower score from Kitty Like Me, where the rest of Hong Kong were able to keep up, but that combo, that separation of the combo there from Puyu was just so instrumental, especially when the collective average, if you assume that Puyu has the same scores as the average of Hong Kong, it's going to be actually a little bit scary, a little bit higher when you think about it. But I mean, you can see Puyu celebrating that victory over Misha, where, I mean, one tiny misstep led to that score almost being practically cut in half. Yeah, it's a great team score from Greece, honestly. I'm happy to see what is effectively a double FC.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, they've got their like funny little bantery rivalry going on in the chat right now, just throughout the match. It's all fun and games, though. You can tell that they're having a lot of fun, and I personally really enjoy seeing it.
Yeah, I think these guys know they just want to have a little bit of fun and play the more they can.
Yeah, and then you got F2X, who is, fighting for his life on the Hidden 2.
Can you blame him, though?
Oh, no.
Can you blame him?
If I was that guy, I would absolutely not blame him. or if I was like him more so.
I myself, I mean, Semi, I know you're pretty damn good at reading, but I myself, I get massacred on hidden 2 reading maps, man. I
Bro,
feel
just
them
use your
completely.
eyes. Just use your eyes, bro.
Oh,
Like,
you're
that's
so
not
true.
that hard.
I need to just unlock my eyes,
Have you tried
man.
turning on your monitor, bro?
Oh, you're so right, man. It's been off the whole time. What have I been doing with myself? You know, I should have more honey. I should eat more honey. Maybe that will help.
It's true.
But yeah, with that being said, DT3 is going to be picked up next, and this one being a bit more of a flowy rhythmic control map, having a few of those snappy patterns, a few flowy patterns, but generally more relying on that rhythmic-y stop and go control-y style.
Yeah. This kind of low density DT3 kind of pick, I mean, I don't know, I feel like Hong Kong just kind of out of ideas. They don't have any mechanics maps left, and nothing that they can sort of abuse the main players on the side of Greece on. And now it's just about picking whatever they're good at and then just, you know, hoping to outscore them. Generally the strategy you want to be going for in the first place, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's see how this one's going to turn out.
I mean, looking back at the stacks here from Hong Kong, it is a little scary of the potential that they have. In fact, their highest score against Singapore was actually with 4 members no higher than 500k, with 2 SEs from both Misha and F2X and Hibiki effectively 1 miss choking. You do notice that Hong Kong are just generally speaking a team that enjoys faster paced maps, DT mechanics, anything like that will help for them. But for Greece, I honestly do see a world where they can return this back, especially with the form. But these highest scores from Hong Kong definitely make me a little fearful for Greece. I think this is more likely to be around for Hong Kong, but who knows? We could see some chokes, especially considering that Greece haven't actually played this map yet in group stage. Maybe for good reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna find out right now. And then, I don't know, I'm a little bit worried about Hong Kong here, simply because I feel like F2X has not been able to play up to what I expected his standard to be, or in fact, what I am sure his standard is, because I know he is an incredible player. And Misha Awa just kind of been the sole warrior on the side of Hong Kong. Unfortunately, not going to be enough
to already rough start.
You know, obviously not going to be enough to carry on his own. And yeah, just as I mentioned, going to be seeing multiple misses here. Fawn, Hibiki, F2X dropping their FCs. And the 2-man army on the side of Greece just, you know, we're already almost halfway into the map. This map, again, super short, 2 minutes after double time is applied.
It's another one of those instances where, it's one of those maps, sorry, that you have the big potential to capitalize massively on nerves. If you don't have too much pressure on yourself and you are extra comfy on this, then you will be fine. But if you are nervous, the snappy volatility of this map can really trip you up when you least expect it. And Jackpack's not really succumbing to the pressure. I'm also just missing on air is going to lead to a big combo swing going in favor of Hong Kong, with all 4 of them. The 3 recoveries now recovering it very smoothly, breaking out very similar time, not letting this big section with extra space flow trip them up one bit, as Misha Awa still holds, and it's going to be combo 4 still for Misha Awa alongside the recoveries from Hong Kong, making this super smooth. And this is the type of score that you see from Hong Kong, especially when you see the recent scores against them with other matchups. This is what I was hoping for. I was scared the start was going to be really detrimental and be a bit of a bad omen, but it doesn't seem like they've let that trip them up too much here. Hong Kong looking really solid at this.
Yeah, man, they've been throwing us a curveball here because it's been looking so awful in the first half, but then they just come back, hold the combos. Look at F2X's 800 combo towards the end. The Hibiki supporting combo as well, just absolutely making the score skyrocket towards the side of Team Blue and, you know, known as Hong Kong. And this is what happens if you see, you know, a singular miss coming from either of the carry players on the Greek side. Hong Kong just kind of taking it super comfortably here.
Yeah, I think on top of that, you have to honestly credit Greece for having a good set of team scores. Honestly, you've got a 1 miss from Puyu, you've got 3 miss, 500k from Mayim Peep. So just generally speaking, a really, really good first half with a bit of a better ending. More than likely to have been mostly on that bigger spike section towards the last quarter of the map. But Greece showing still decent potential, but Hong Kong kind of proving why they are that superior double-time mechanical team. Even if they did lose by a hair on that DT1, it still shows they've got something in the tank, and you could see that opening up more options like the Free Mod 3. But aside from that, what other maps do you see Greece potentially going to? Maybe something like AIM, like you mentioned at the start, maybe a No Mod 1?
I'm not sure. I feel like No Mod 1 is always a kind of pick that you go for if you really have those like specialist players for it.
Yeah.
Not sure if I would say like either team has any of them. I mean, obviously they have players that are very proficient on AIM, but that just kind of feels like, you know, No Mod 1 becomes more of a toss-up than anything. So I'm not really sure what either team is going to be going for here. Greece, I could see them go for something like the Hidden One. Oh, and there we go. Hidden One.
Hey, good call, lad. Good call. Yeah, go for the Hidden One. Why not? Bit more obvious, bit less subtle for Greece. They're not going to be saving anything. They're just going to be going for as many picks as they can. With that, if they win this, they do secure tiebreaker. So, in all honesty, it's not the worst option there.
Well, absolutely not. This map going to be featuring a lot of funky control, some sliders, some rhythm. On top of the hidden modification, of course, being used Mir as the mapper. You already kind of get a rough idea of what it's going to look like, a rough idea of how it's going to play, how it's going to feel when it's being played. And again, I feel like this can kind of just go either way.
Yeah.
Mainly just, you know, the carry player is going to be the most significant difference makers here. And I think this one is a little bit more interesting in the sense that F2X is definitely able to fill better compared to the Hidden 2. So this one might actually go in Hong Kong's favor to a certain extent as well. Or at least the support is going to be potentially better.
Yeah, for me, the question that I have here for Hong Kong is whether or not the supporting players alongside Misha Awa will be able to maintain the scores that they have kept in their previous runs, right? I think you've got no score lower than 428k from players like F2X and Hibiki, who are two players in my mind who definitely could, especially Hibiki, could definitely get a higher score on a map like this. I do think that was a low score for him. So hopefully that will change, and maybe Hong Kong this time actually have a shot at a breakpoint to tie this up. If you are to assume Misha Awa is going to be FCing, which you wouldn't be silly to think so, considering he's been basically doing that the whole match right now for the majority of the tournament of this group stage. Greece generally have a consistent 3-person core who have gotten generally consistently high scores on this map. Question is, if they can stay consistent, not let the Nubs get better of them, and Hong Kong can have their bonus buddies, have the scores that you know you can see from these players, it could be, like you said, a really exciting map. And definitely a turning point in the series if that's the case. And it helps that a map with this heavy emphasis is the biggest banger. I mean, this song slaps so hard.
Oh yeah, I fully agree. And you know, we got our first canon event of the map here. Jackpacks missing on the fast 1/3 burst, 1/6. Getting played in the miss early on. Not gonna matter all too much though. Advantage currently on the side of Hong Kong. Early break from F2X, but everybody else is going very, very strong. Just the supporting combo a little bit higher, making everything just a little bit more favored towards Hong Kong right now. But again, things can change really, really quickly. Very, very volatile of a pick. I think we've reached the stage of the match where I feel like we really cannot avoid this. And there goes Naked and Puyu, gonna be 2 misses, and F2X gonna trade on one of them. But advantage over to the side of Hong Kong, and this is exactly what we were talking about, Shiva. You see the drops. Mayim Peep's also going to be dropping. 1 FC left against 3. What a catastrophic turn of events here for Greece.
This is stinging, yeah. You were thinking during that long ramp up of the map, that bigger slider spam section that was there for just a second was going to be the turning point to define who would win this, but it wasn't the case. It was after that and the slow section into the build-up, which was the thing that decided the fate here for Greece. But you still have Jackpacks on this full combo as you enter the next TI time. Misha Awa and Hibiki flying all 3 of them together, shield keeping up intact. Down goes Flyon. Hibiki with a big hack off on that fast rapid burst, but it's still that combo to stay until he falls. So it's a one-on-one here. With 300k being the big gap, there's not a lot of time left, but Greece are building something here. If Misha Awa wants to go down and Jackpack holds, this is still a winnable deal, but Misha Awa showing no mercy going into this. Accuracy is fantastic, and with the map running down, there's little to no time left here for Greece. If there's a collapse from Misha, maybe, but Misha's not the type. We've seen it the whole time. He is not the kind of player to collapse on maps like this.
I mean, praying for this guy to miss is just ridiculous, beyond unrealistic. It was looking really, really good for Greece there for a second with the supporting combos just building up, but unfortunately, gonna be finding the breaks here, and Misha Awa just doing as much as he can. Great support here from Flyon and Hibiki. F2X also trying his best, and unfortunately, this is gonna be the break point, and Hong Kong back with the pick now, potentially securing themselves a tiebreaker.
I was gonna say, yeah, Hibiki reaching the score that I would expect from him at the very least to get good score return from them, and with F2X being able to still provide similar support is exactly what you'd expect of Hong Kong. It's honestly a good spread of scores from the whole lobby. These are generally decent team scores.
Let's go.
Had Puyu not missed on honestly a single section, like that one section there, those two misses there were practically just after the slider break that caused that combo to break. Had that not happened, could have seen something different. And I mean, obviously, once you miss, your nerves start to collapse on you, right? And then you end up missing a lot more, becoming a lot more shaky until you start to recover that slightly, right? Usually that's how nerves are kind of seen as, and had Puyu not slider broken, that could have been a very different scenario there for Greece, but not the case.
Yeah, no, I mean, we got a final pick left for both teams. Really, I have no idea what we're going to be seeing here. There's a lot of similar skill sets left open. You got the control on stuff like Nomad 4 and Hard Rock 2. And we still have the Nomad 5 left, which is going to be the final pick here for Hong Kong, opting for the CS7 precision pick. Actually kind of sort of picking into the weaknesses of Greece here. I know Jackpax is not really the type of person that favors playing precision. I mean, particularly on a group stage pool, I don't think that there should be anything he needs to worry about. Just a little preference thing that I, kind of noticed about him, and that he's also told me himself in tournaments when we used to team or play against each other.
Yeah,
so who knows?
In general, you look at Jackpacks to be a, generally speaking, good carry, but non-precision based no-mod or hidden is really the main thing you look out for. Obviously free mod when you are able to exploit that no-mod and or hidden power as well. This one is, for me, a little bit of a question mark, It's relatively paced. It's 185 BPM, AR9, 7.4 CS. So it's a question mark for me, because I think Jackpacks is capable, but if the map is a bit too quick for him, this could backfire. You're more really hoping that someone like Puyu and maybe Nekid coming in for this to be a big asset with this. Lefty looking to be the fourth player here, assuming that Nekid is the third. But for Hong Kong, Ming is making his first appearance into this match with Misha Awa exactly where you'd expect him to be.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the rosters on either side here. I mean, we for sure are going to be seeing F2X, right? And we do see Nekid, except they accidentally swap places. Roster set for both, and for Hong Kong's final pick here. Let's see how this one's going to go.
This has been a really good map for Hong Kong. Like, you are really worried for Greece with this one. Hong Kong might be able to swoop away a victory, which I feel like they feel more than ever is a deserved one for them, considering that they choked a tiebreaker victory against Singapore and then falling to Japan, who were just in good form on that day. Having a really slow, slippery start and then finally picking up momentum again is similar nature to that Singapore game. The question is on whether or not Greece will be able to do the same thing and do exactly what happened to them last time. But I think this map is much more likely to be a final kill here for Hong Kong. They've had a really good pair of consistent team scores here. 3 mil and 3.289 respectively.
Yeah, let's see if they're going to be able to replicate that. Again, pretty short map. So, you know, especially in a 3-3 situation, I feel like the nerfs could get the better of either, like, plays, you know, on either side. Mainly looking at the rookies, the veterans, obviously, you know, being more versed, having a little bit of an advantage when it comes to nerf control. And we do see early breaks here from Naked and Ming. There goes Jackpacks, though, as I mentioned, kind of just not feeling super comfortable on the precision. Within the first half of the map, that's like the part where you really do not want to see any breaks. And Advantage going to be swapping over to the side of Hong Kong.
The parts of these maps as well, they gradually expand, they gradually gain, and if you're just off on the precision, or if your nerves really get the better of you, it stings a lot. Tons of repeating patterns with those occasional jump scares on the beats on the switches. It's really, really scary, and I think despite Jackpacks falling, is still doing a good job with accuracy, showing that generally speaking, he's not really too fearful on this map. It's more just those slight aim comforts that sting, but for Misha Awa is a tremendous misstep for Hong Kong, which could be the backfiring if the rest of his teammates can't back him up, but it seems like that's not the case here. F2X, Flyout, and Ming, all three of them getting really solid scores as Greece collapse, and it's the win for Hong Kong as we get into the final quarter. I don't think there is a world where they can take this. A quarter of the map left to go. It's a short 2-minute map. No combos here for Greece, as the rest of Hong Kong and Flyout and F2X are stomping the floor with this map. Could even see a double FC. This accuracy is spectacular. These guys very much comfortable enough to do so.
Yeah, incredible showing here from FTX and Flyon. Object density just also way too low in the last quarter of the map in order to make any difference, even if they had held on to the combo. But again, what a blowout win here. Almost 1 million team score difference.
It's very impressive. It's amazing how without a Misha Awa FC, they still get the highest team score that they've had on this map by a huge margin too, a whole 200k. Like, it's a sizable gap when you see them averaging that, and Misha Awa didn't even FC. If Misha Awa didn't miss on air, that's an extra 400k. That would be a 600,000 score increase from that, which would have been honestly an impressive difference there. But that's Hong Kong taking the lead finally in this series, as they're one map away from guaranteeing the match and at least ending their OWC run in a bit of glory, which unfortunately is that has to be the silver lining to both these teams' stories, where neither of them able to eke out their chance to extend their run in this tournament, only really able to have a little bit of a final hoorah. Okay,
in my opinion, the best pick that Greece can make in this situation is definitely the Fremantle. For sure, 100%. Gonna put the Jackpacks on the hidden. Gonna have Naked on the hidden Hard Rock. He is a flow aim player, so he's gonna be very comfortable on that. Puyu on the Nomad gonna be a very, very reliable source in order to go for that Nomad FC, and then just have someone like Tushback probably fill in as the last player. Out of all of the maps remaining, I think that's definitely the best one they have. I would definitely not pick either of the Hard Rocks in my opinion, simply because it doesn't opt into one of the players on Greece's side, being Jackpacks, of course. Hard Rock 2, again, we mentioned that he doesn't like precision. Hard Rock 1, well, albeit not being precision, definitely still the higher CS, kind of, you know, making things a little bit rougher for him. And yeah, there it is. Fremantle. Let's see how this one's gonna go. Again, I believe this is a pick that Greece can still win. A pick that, just in terms of raw roster, I think they're actually kind of advantaged on.
Yeah, so here comes Nightmare Invitation. What are your thoughts on this one, Semi? I mean, do you see potential overmod coming in here from Greece? Maybe a double Hard Rock here, maybe Puyu and Naked running double Hard Rock, just to try and buff as much score as they can.
I think this is, I mean, you could argue that they might do it, but in my opinion, it is just way better for them to, you know, pray for, you know, the support on the side of Hong Kong to just not be able to keep up with the scores that Greece sets here. Expecting Misha to go for that hidden FC probably, and then F2X on that Hard Rock. And yeah, the roster exactly as I predicted. Waiting for Misha and F2X here on the side of Hong Kong, and RLSC finally making an appearance here. Going to be playing the stream map.
RLSC stream goat. Yep. RLSC. But with that, F2X and Misha, I mean, I think those two the most obvious players. More than likely trying to just refresh themselves after playing what was honestly a pretty insane precision map. So maybe just getting used to adjusting the CS and flow again of the map. This is a very comfortable map in terms of statistics. It's 3.8 CS, AR 9.6, so not the most awkward in terms of that reading difficulty. It's very much the map itself that makes it difficult. It's got that regular flowing, typical of Amy Mayo maps in standard. On top of that, some volatile general jumpy aim sections that can trip you up if you're modded, especially with some styler jumps coming in. That could trip up a lot of the hard rock players, and some of the flow aim increases towards the latter half of the map could make you staying on that hidden. So the modded names are the big ones to look out for as the flashiest, but if you're looking for consistency, I wouldn't expect an overmod coming in here. I was curious though, considering that we've seen both Naked and Puyu do great work on hard rock and on flow aim in general. So maybe that would be a wild, but this is the first time we've seen in this map that in this match that Jackpax is not making an appearance for Greece. In a do or die straight, not having your strongest player does spark a bit of fear going into this next map here.
Yeah, quite a questionable decision in my opinion. I was convinced that he was going to be able to play this. I mean, he can for sure tap it, despite the fact that it's like around 195.
So the comfortable styling of this map as well. It's difficult, but it's not really awkward. That enables a lot more players here for Greece to maybe play it and get used to it in practice.
Probably. Yeah, we're going to be seeing a few early breaks here from Naked and Trustpack. 2 minutes length again. I mean, I've been saying it over and over, but any miss is going to matter. It's do or die here for Greece. They're so close to being, to being eliminated. I mean, they are eliminated, but they're so close to losing the match. Trustback going to be fighting another miss. Detrimental that the no mods here specifically hold the combo, because I believe both mods really significantly more difficult. As RLSC also finds a Seamus. Misha actually going to be fighting the miss.
Oh, F2X does hold on though. Big stream that hit from F2X. That matters a lot here. Closing the gap very slightly, but these combos here from Greece are still really high as the streams continue to ramp up in acceleration. Those sharp twists and turns, really scary for a player like Naked on this hidden hard rock, but he's not letting go one bit here. He's holding strong and keeping Greece alive in this. A half left to go, big streams coming in, Min goes down. You are praying for someone from Greece to fall, and it's just not happening, man.
Yeah, F2X, the Soul Warrior on the side of Hong Kong, fighting for his life right now, making sure to do everything.
Wow.
Yeah, but the support is just not there, as Naked is still going with the hidden hard rock, basically FC with a silly little miss in the beginning. Incredible support on that 99.7% accuracy FC from Puyu. And My Aim Peeps also on the Nomad FC. Trustpack now recovering with the combo, making sure to back up his team as much as he can, and just look at the score difference. Naked goes down, but it's still just 2 FCs against 1. Advantage for Greece. Look at him go. The map's about to be over. We're going to be seeing a tiebreaker.
This is brilliant here from Greece. You finally have Puyu dropping, but it doesn't mean jack at all. He's still got 400k. The effort from F2X is gargantuan alongside the score, but it's just nothing against this massive team score from Greece. A bravo attempt from F2X to full combo the map. And it must really sting to lose knowing you got that, but it's just a great score, especially here from Naked and Puyu. But this FC from My Aim Peeps is also massive. Naked with 742k on hidden hard rock is huge going into it, on top of the high accuracy as well. Those space streams, usually so scary with the hidden, with hard rock only making it that much more difficult. But like you said, the guy likes the hidden, high AR or not, and that leads to a solid team result from Greece, and that's tiebreaker.
Yeah, also Hard Rock FC from F2X does absolutely nothing to scoff at. By far the hardest mod on this map. So yeah, props to him for that. And now we're gonna be seeing the tiebreaker. Yeah, I mean for sure we're gonna be seeing the main carry players on both teams playing this. Of course, F2X, Ibiki, and Misha. And then have one Phil, and then on the other side we're gonna be having Puyu, Jackpax, and Naked. All 6 of these in fact have just been doing an amazing job so far. Making sure that this match becomes super interesting.
We have not seen a tiebreaker since last weekend between Singapore and Hong Kong. And finally, after, from what I can see on the sheet, 7-5-3 tiebreaker misses later, it is finally a tiebreaker here, which could be the only tiebreaker in this group, week 2. So go to your seats, because this is a big possibility, especially on the fact that both of these teams have shown really good capability on this type of map. It is consistency, it is flow aim, it is aim mechanics. It's Destined Victorica. Oh my god, I mispronounced it for a second. Destined Victorica. Such an iconic banger map. 6 minutes long. Kind of a... Correct me if I'm wrong. Would I be sacrilegious to say that this gives me a modern take on something like Fake Promise?
I mean, I do see the DJ Sharpmo vibes in this. I kind of understand where you're coming from. So, no, I don't think that there, you know... I don't think there's going to be people out there, you know, chasing you with... wait, what's the...
Good to know.
Yeah, with
Good
pitchforks. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. This does have heavy DJ Sharpmo vibes.
Oh, agreed. Yeah. That's what I was thinking, especially because of the difficulty of the map being very much consistency based with good amount of flow and good amount of streams, 200 BPM. Same BPM. Wait, is it the same BPM as Fake Promise? No, Fake Promise is 190.
No, Fake Promise is slower. It's like 185, I believe.
185, 190. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad we get to see a tiebreaker. There were so many 5-3s on the sheet. I was scared I wasn't going to be as fortunate either.
Yeah, dude. Have you seen the Portugal group?
I have. Yeah.
Was it Portugal? I think they literally played every match 5-3. Like,
Yeah,
it's
rough.
it is very rough.
We're not seeing that though. We're not going to be seeing that this group. It will be Greece and Hong Kong to end their group on a tiebreaker, which is great. So despite them not being able to make it out, they are going to be at least able to end it on a banger. Neither team going out on a whimper at the very least. And some great scores as well from these teams. A great team score from Hong Kong, some great team scores from Greece just on that last map we just saw. Which I forgot to mention, by the way, was an OS original from Mania 7 Key. We actually have 3 originals, including the one standard original for this tournament in the Hard Rock 2, by the name of Show Off Showdown. You also had Heliosphere, and you also had Nightmare Invitation that we just saw.
Yeah, those
and
two
now,
originals for other game modes, and then the Hard Rock 2, as you mentioned. Shoutouts to Memo Demo for the amazing original.
Sure, we couldn't see it this match, but maybe in the next few games. I know it's been a decently commonly picked map here. We've seen a decent amount of times in this group stage, so it's been having that spotlight that it deserves for sure, as the only original from this OWC so far in the pool. And a rare moment where we don't see an original tiebreaker for group stage at the very least, but from what I know, hopefully the future stages will have that. But I think it's a great reason when you have a map like this as an option, let's be honest.
Oh yeah. For sure. Alright, rosters are finalized. Timeouts are going to be soon over. In fact, right now. So let's finally get to the final map of this match. Let's see how these two teams duke it out. They've been so interesting throughout this entire match. I'm super excited for this. And I hope y'all are too.
Yeah, it's a good way to close the curtain on this group. Hong Kong Greece, who honestly were two teams that we were honestly surprised in different ways to see, right? Greece having a generally close call, close performance on their qualifiers and still being able to just barely qualify, with Hong Kong, honestly, despite having a shocker placement in qualifiers, still at least showing in group stage that they have still some of that spark from their players, even if they weren't able to make it out of groups this time. Misha Awa, despite having, unfortunately, a poor run from Hong Kong for a team, as an individual has still shown why he is a serious powerhouse of a player who has colossal potential in the future to really make Hong Kong a much stronger country in the future. Kind of the pillar of a new generation for this country, and we've seen him do fantastic work in this series, let alone in the entire group stage. And so maybe this time we'll see a final blaze of glory coming from him as he pops that preference hidden alongside Naked as well to join. Aside from that, it's Hibiki on that side hidden, 3 hiddens, the rest Nomad here for tiebreaker. As it's an early intro miss coming through from both Hibiki and Jackpacks, with recoveries being pretty big in favor of Hong Kong to start.
Yeah, mod advantage going over the side of Hong Kong with the preference hidden on Hibiki and Misha Awa, but I mean, who's to say it's gonna make a difference, right?
Big first build-up session coming through the first KI time, and the twist and turn streams don't actually trip up anybody, especially none of the hidden players, which surprises me there. But it's well played here from everybody so far. Only one miss exchange, making this really, really tightly knit so far. But big streams coming in next. More build-up in. Huge accuracies from a lot of players, and nobody is falling. Every single player in this lobby, aside from my aim peeps, and now Ming, courtesy of that miss on the FC, is below 99 accuracy. But Puyu misses, and that's a big one. Might be the turning point here for Hong Kong.
Yeah, this is the opportunity for Hong Kong to build up the lead. They've got the combo advantage now. Solid support from JackTags here, but one of the two players that have been performing the best for Greece missing here. Absolutely devastating and significant. Could end up making the difference a quarter into the map here. So, you know, everything's still kind of written in the stars. We're not really sure how it's going to go, but as of right now, advantage over to Hong Kong, especially with the modded players also holding onto their incredible combos here and their 99% accuracy. Obviously, one of them being matched by Naked on the other side, who's also holding a very impressive 99.79, 99.8 2B. And there goes Hibiki. One of the modded scores down, yet it is still 2 FCs versus 1.
Misha Awa, wow, man. He's playing this map so perfectly here. Even notice that he's almost full sending most of these sliders that he can, as long as they're not kick sliders. And it's just Naked kind of left alone here with very close to superior accuracy here from Misha. But you just have nothing else to back you up here. Puyu with another miss. My Peep struggling here with JackTags trying his darndest, but unable to really hold a long time consistent combo, as it's still F2X and Misha to hold the fort. 99.95 for F2X on this Nomad. You'd have fear on a map like this of potential mind block issues, and F2X with a big combo to go down, but still Misha Awa's combo to really be a big deal here. You've got JackTags and Mayan Peeps on a good recovery, and maybe slowly over time this could shift, but it all rests on whether or not Misha Awa will slip.
Possibility is definitely there, but I believe if Greece keeps going the way they are right now, there's still hope. 170k, a lot of score for a tiebreaker, but we're still only halfway through the map, so I was gonna say it could be the difference maker, but Naked goes down. That's the last FC gone, and now it's Misha Awa in the driver's seat, and you know, that might just be it. The biggest combo gone. JackTags also down. Mayan Peeps dropping his combo as well. And yeah, it's not looking great for Greece here.
Not at all, no. You also notice that the recoveries here from Hong Kong and Hibiki and Ming are gaining and gaining, almost towering over Greece as they kind of accept their fate going into this. Tragically for Greece, this is the end of their run. They're not going to be going into this group with a single victory. Granted, with a good general group to have to go against, it's a difficult one. But Greece definitely put up a fight. I mean, going TB against Hong Kong, who went TB against Singapore, who were one of the teams to make it through, you could see a realm where Hong Kong could have changed their fates, but it won't be this one. Misha Awa's full combo is gone, but it's not going to mean much because despite the other misses, it's Ming who will fall, but still has that 4-digit combo in hand. And with JackTags' 500 combo in the final quarter, I honestly, knowing how long this map is, I don't actually think that's going to be enough.
No, absolutely not.
I don't think so, no. Not even
we are
close.
in the last quarter, and despite the miss on Misha, there's just no combo that can, you know, even sort of come close. And now everybody's just kind of breaking, so that is definitely going to be the final nail in the coffin. Greece going to be unfortunately losing this match after having a very, very good start with the breakpoint opening.
Yeah,
very unfortunate run, but
yeah.
Misha is just too strong.
Oh yeah.
What can you do?
What can you really do against a player like Misha Awa, who is, you know, we talked about Def from Vietnam to be the best player from a team that didn't qualify. You could definitely argue Misha Awa to be in contention for the best player who didn't get out of groups going into this tournament. Probably one of the most underrated names going into it, and being so fantastically good, even in his debut in 2024. Being the face of the team this year, despite not having the stars that were with him before, at least he himself could prove that he had really something special this year, despite Hong Kong not making it out. And that will be the end of Destin Victorica, with Misha Awa having the last laugh, a GG on the final spinner. It was a great match, and the glory to the lower battle of the group is going to go to Hong Kong, who went on tiebreaker by really strong fashion, 300k. Tapped off with a cherry on top, a fantastic top score from Misha Awa.
Yeah, very incredible showing. Just you guys wait for when Hong Kong gets all their players back.
Brother, yeah.
Just you guys wait. Wait for MCY for the return. Wait for Max Barreo to return. Just, I mean, imagine the powerhouse that Hong Kong could potentially be with this just ridiculous showing from Misha Awa, dropping a 924k average score in this match, with the only outlier scores being the Seoul 1 misses on, the Nomad 5, and the tiebreaker also being included, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah, topping 6 of the 9 maps he played in this for Hong Kong. He really is that little superhero who maybe isn't big enough to topple skyscrapers just yet, but very much still up there as a big contender. Who knows if Hong Kong will get a similar prime roster? Who knows if they will ever come back, really? But the rookies for Hong Kong showed some good potential. Flyon being a great player on the hidden, Revenge Wolf being generally quite well-rounded, Ming and Tsukime also having some good moments respectively. RLSC having a couple of notable appearances too. But for Hong Kong, it's one of those things, one of those experimental years, similar to Poland of last year, where losing your best players gives you a chance to learn how your rookies will play,